Go. Okay, so I'm gonna drop some serious knowledge about depression, okay? Because I've been depressed many times, and so this is for people out there who are depressed about something, who are feeling like shit, who were told something by somebody else, okay, or something catastrophic happened in your family, something catastrophic happened in your social life, your financial life, your personal life, and something catastrophic in your mind, okay, and there's this COVID and this lockdown stuff going around, and I just wanted to record something that I personally discovered just by thinking on my own about depression and like how to fix it. Okay. First off, I live in Texas, Austin, Texas, in America, and it's like even though it can technically apply to any country, but America is a special example because every single person here, whether they are rich or not, whether they are homeless, it doesn't matter. Every single person here came from a story of struggle somewhere, okay? And so, a couple of days ago, I was like sad and down about something. I forgot what it was. Maybe it was not making enough YouTube videos. Maybe it was, something at my house or something with my side business going on. And so look, here's the deal, right? Okay, think back to your family, your ancestry, your story, okay? It doesn't matter if you're white, black, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, whatever. Think back to your story, okay? I'll use my personal example, okay? My relatives fought their ass off to come here. On my mom's side, they came from Eastern Europe, Poland, and modern day Western Ukraine, and they were running away from communists and Nazis. And on my dad's side, they came over here. My mom's side came over here in around the 20s, and my dad's side came here around the 40s during World War II, because my grandma on my dad's side, her hometown was bombed out by the Nazis. You can Google it. Her hometown is Rotterdam, Rotterdam, Rotterdam. It was the only Western European city that was completely bombed out by the Nazis in World War II. Anyways, and so look, so I would be getting depressed and all, and I would sit and think about it, and I'd be like, wait a second, my ancestors came this fucking far, okay? And my single parent mom, she struggled her ass off for me and my older brother in the 90s and early 2000s. And and it's like, I don't have it as bad as my mom. And then her dad, which is my grandfather, he was working his ass off in construction in New York in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, okay? And, he was working like 12 hours a day to feed my mom, aunts, and uncles. And, and it's like they worked way harder than me. They had way more struggle than me. And it's like, just think about for a second, what room do you have to complain? What room do you have to be depressed? And then my grandpa's parents, which I have very limited information on, They were the ones who came on the boat in the 20s. I'm not sure if it was the early 20s or the mid 20s, but my grandpa was born in 26, so it had to be either the early or mid 20s. Okay? And they came over here with nothing but the clothes on their back. Okay? This was after World War One, shortly before World War Two. Okay? The world was a fucked up place. The Great Depression was in 1929. So this is like barely before a lot of shit went down, right? And so, like, my great grandparents, came here for a better life, and there was way less technology in the 1920s. There was way less of everything in the 1920s. They didn't even speak English, and they learned English. They started a business. My great grandfather and my grandfather, they started construction, and they became successful people because that's what America fucking does. Like, anyone can get successful at any point in time from anywhere. Depending on what avenue of the system that you put the work into. And it's like, and then my great great grandfather, which I have very little, almost no information on. He was a farmer in Poland, and he got killed in 1939 on the first invasion of Poland by the Nazis. And so, and so it's like I look at those people, my great great grandfather, great grandfather, grandfather, and my mom, and I'm like, all four of them struggled to pass the generation on to me, to make the next generation better. And I am doing better than them. It worked. And it probably didn't work the way that they were thinking, but no one could have expected that we would have the technology that we have now. And so it's like, without spending hours and hours on my story, on my family history, it's like, wait a second. Whoever you are, whatever level of depression you have, okay, think about your ancestors for just a minute, okay? They worked their ass off, and they have it harder than any of us right now to get you to where you are, to get me to where I am. Why are we getting depressed? Like, what reason, what room do we have to say that we should kill ourselves, or to say that, life is the worst ever? It's been way worse than it used to be, and I understand there's different regions of the world. There's Africa, the conflicts going on there, and I talk to people in Africa, and they tell me about the conflicts going on. And I talk to people in Brazil. I talk to people, or at least I used to talk to people in Europe, and especially with all these COVID lockdowns, there's a lot of struggle going on, and and so hang in there, because if your ancestors were talking to you right now, and they were like, I busted my ass off 12 hours a day to get you to this moment. What the fuck are you doing with your head down when there's jobs that have to be filled, when there's work that has to be done, when there's people you could talk to feel better. You could pray to get better. You could go to church to get better. You could take vitamins and supplements to get better. There's like dozens of different ways to feel better and get better in life. Over 100 ways. And it's like, so think about your ancestors for just 60 seconds. What would they say if they were standing over you right now? And once you have that perspective, life really isn't that bad.